Welcome back to the next chapter of our Disappearing Farmhouses and Termnamungan series. Today we are in the townland of Shanahy and looking at a very unique house which years ago was the Byrnes family homestead. John Gallen and Sarah Falls lived just a few hundred yards from this house and are very familiar with the terrain and interesting features of this old dwelling. The overhead view of the landscape shows the road leading to John Gallen's, then the steep lane leading up to Byrnes' old homestead, whose connections will be described as we play through the video, as well as some of the tragic events which occurred in past years at the house and in close proximity to the house. We have been delighted with the response to last week's gathering. The video was posted on Facebook and comments have come back from all over the world. People have been looking for old photographs and suggesting other houses of interest to bring in to get scanned for the project. Please continue to research and speak to people who have relevant stories, and we will develop this into a really interesting insight into the life and times of the earlier hardships which face families in this rural and isolated part of Ireland. Thank you.
We're here today in the townland of Shanahy at the homestead of the Byrnes family, and we have got John Gallen and Sarah Falls here, two people with us here that were just reared about 100 metres down the lane. Now this is a very unusual type of a house because if you look inside the door there's actually a step into the kitchen inside the door, and there's two fairly large stones. There's a split between the two stones, and John's going to demonstrate to us here now what this was actually for. It was a drain that travelled from here out across the street down the field, and that's where the dishwater and that type of stuff would have been emptied. John's going to show us now just actually that it does function. You can see here now it's just a matter of emptying the water out and it just disappeared between the two stones. This is something that would probably been in a number of houses, but that's the first time I have seen it in one.
And there's a special name for that now. Some used to be a vernal outside the house, an open one, but that there was closed in.
This one, as John explained, it was normally outside the road, but this one was inside. It wasn't a bad weather, John, you didn't have to come out to empty this one.
You wash the floor with whatever you're washing.
Something else that's very unusual about the house is the door head here was one complete stone, just rather than thatch or tin or something. But could you tell us something, John, about the people that actually lived in this house? What did they call the family?
The family that lived in this house was the name of Byrnes. Byrnes. And they had relations, Byrnes, who lived in Essen. Right? And but to get started away, I suppose about the man that was killed with the lightning. The relation theirs went to America. We're back in the late 1800s or 1800s, and that time it took a long time for a letter to come back from America to Ireland. So the word came here that the letter had came back from America, the man that had left, and the man that lived here, John Byrne, and another man named McCrory, went to Essen on a Sunday afternoon to read the letter.
Was the letter actually delivered to this house, John?
No, the letter was delivered to Essen.
Right.
And they left here to go to Essen.
They were Byrnes as well.
Same relations, the same breed of people. And they arrived in Essen. Had been a dark Sunday afternoon, and they all went outside. The two men went outside and stood at the kitchen window to read the letter.
Yes.
The lightning started. It was a very dark evening, the Sunday evening, with thunder in there, and a cloudy, dark evening. So they were standing at the kitchen window reading the letter whenever the lightning started. The lightning struck the two men, killing both of them. That all happened in the late 1890s. Now the man named John Byrne that came from here was taken back to here on a door, and he was waked down in that lower room down there. And I heard my father saying, rest them all now, that when he was a small infant now, my father was born in the late 1800s, that when he was an infant, his father took him up here to the wake.
Yes.
And took him down to the room and lifted him up a child and showed him the dead man in bed. Now the words he says to him, he says, you never saw a dead body before. And he said he remembered that well. My father had a great memory. He remembered well the dead man lying in the bed. That was the man that was killed in Essen with the lightning. And that all happened in the late 1800s.
Would there been any family there then, John, to follow on after that?
Here?
Yes.
John and Biddy.
Right.
Brother and sister. John, Biddy, brother and sister. Yeah. John Byrne and Biddy Byrne, brother and sister. And they lived here, and they always had a servant boy hired here. This is a fairly big farm at that time. Well going farm, you know, because they kept 2 horses all the time. Grew their own land down the field there and all that.
Yes.
And they kept a hired servant all the time.
So, do you remember this house being on here as well?
Oh yes, yeah.
And do you remember the people that lived in it?
No.
You don't?
No, none of us remembers.
No.
Nobody remembers that?
No.
What were you were saying that there's no one as
This Biddy's
Biddy
Byrnes
place?
I just was saying there, I just remember my father saying that whenever Biddy would have nothing for the dinner, she would have grabbed a hen on the street and she came in and plucked it and threw it into a pot and boiled it, and she never cleaned it out. She just
boiled it.
That's what the men got for the dinner. But no, I never knew them. No.
You never knew them at
No.
all?
But it was a well-going place, and it was an up-to-date farm at that time.
Yes.
Yeah.
There wouldn't have been very many farms in this area would have had 2 horses.
No,
John.
2 horses and a servant boy employed all the time. You know, I always heard me father saying that the servant man employed all the time, that their own 2 horses and all that. You know.
Yes.
And they grew the land down in that field over there. The lit dam down there with this, we're down below the well. The water from the well had filled
The
lint dam, and they had their own lint down there and all that.
Well,
And the two, they're all buried in a Heiarn graveyard.
Well, is there any relations that are still alive, or does anybody know that?
Well, the Byrnes Byrne would be the only relation now left. Would be a far out relation. Byrnes would be the only one left now. Byrnes in the family.
Right.
He'd be the relation.
So your father bought the farm after the last?
He bought them. John Byrne died. John Byrne, he was working the corn down there on a Sunday, and he died before the corn was sliced. I hear that. And John Byrne died, and then Biddy, his sister, sold the farm to my father at £350. It was small money that time, wasn't it? Or 375, something like that. And she went away to the nurse's house in Derry and died there. And was taken back to Heiarn and buried in Heiarn whenever she passed on.
That's grand. John, you want to tell us a bit about this space and stone ditch here,
That's
what
right.
it was used for?
Yeah, years gone by, Biddy used this here to store her milk and butter in the warm weather in the summertime. And that was covered over the top with a flag, and the front of it was covered with a flag. So no hens or cats or nothing got near it. It was in full view of the house all the time. And that's where she kept her milk and butter cold. And because it's back to the sun never got shining on it.
That's what I was going to say to you, just that the sun actually never hit this.
No, the sun never hit this here. And it was facing the door and facing the window. So it was in view of the house all the time.
That's very interesting, that's very unusual to see that.
Isn't it? Eh?
Okay, John.
But whoever was here years gone by must have been a very good stone builder, because he did a lot of building about here, you know. Nobody's seen something like that often. You see how that there was built?
Aye.
A place for the back door, for the door to open into.
Aye.
From the door.
See that timber above your head, John? That's recycled there. I suppose you know what that was.
Aye,
That come out of the original fireplace with the holes in it for the wooden lintels was used for the fires years ago. And there were solid rods put onto these here and woven and blasted with lime. That's what them there as well, two of them down home. That's how they were before. The only house I ever seen it done was over near Jackson School, you know, Dole's house in behind that. The
What?
wooden brace was still on.
What is that, the bottom of the bed and one at the top of the bed?
What was that there for? Was it not close?
Yes, it's there, look.
Oh, that's top. Oh, that's top, now. That's the other one.
One up there and one on there. That's what.
They were at the top of the bed for setting the glass or somewhere, maybe
Clock.
a channel or light into
A
it.
clock or I don't know what to be.
And was that open out to the outside?
No,
no,
there's two beds there, you see, one facing each way.
I mean, they were after across there, see.
That's what we're saying now.
There you look, see, this is where the joists would have been going across for to carry the upstairs. They weren't very big joists, were they, John?
No. They're good, they're still going somewhere.
Keep the fire to see.
Now, what were these for?
That's for the press, to keep the press in. That was our kitchen, that was a wee kitchen there, a wee pantry. I mind all that lovely place of course. That was the kitchen and that there was a...
No, it's not, that's just, what would that have been carrying, John?
Haven't a clue. You get the arch there above the fire.
This here's where the outshot bed was here. You can see the track in the wall here, the change where there's been the difference in the plaster. John said that this here was, or there was the pantry and there was a half loft over the top of it. You can still see the holes in the walls where the timber was done.
And you'd up the steps there and across it into the
Bedrooms.
into the bedroom. That's the stairs was up there, whatever was steps up the side of
So that would have been the pantry under there, John.
that's the pantry one day, that's where they shaved and what, and that's where they kept the food. Right? Now, there's no crane in this house, you know.
That's timber there too.
No crane in it. See if I go through the chimney up there, look. You're way now, is it? See a hole in the chimney there?
Yes.
And the spike through there, and that's okay, the kettles and pots.
Was it?
Oh, I should
The
have.
chain just, there was no crane. The
No
chain
crane,
just
chain hanging there. It's not still there, it's not. There's it there, look.
See
There's the last wee bit of a look.
That's the piece of timber that went through the chimney to carry the...
That's the last wee bit of a look. There's two up there, look. Hey?
There was a chain hanging down from that to carry
Down
the
there,
kettles
kettle
and the
and
cranes and the pots. There was no crane and such.
No crane as such. You see a place for the tea box.
This is where the tea was kept.
Another one over here, look. The man built that house must have been some architect when he minded to do all them things.
That's right.
Hey?
Was suppose at that time, John, that was the done thing, wasn't it?
Hey?
See the stones here as well. They're actually built into the wall rather than some of them have got a big stone
I
up
know
here.
that. Then they were built into the
One
wall.
was built into the wall.
But I often thought that there was nice there now.
It is.
There's the keystone down there, look.
That's right.
Mm.
That was the stones actually carried most of the weight.
The stone carried with down that there. Some wee stones in that brace.
Yes.
Right?
It's unreal. Huh? There's some work involved in that.
Some work involved.
This house would have originally been thatched.
Oh, it was, but it was supposed to be a great house years gone by. It was a
Well,
very good house.
I
Very
used-
modern house.
That's where this, like the shelf type on the wall here, that's where the thatch would have originally been. That
That's
extra
right.
bit was built in when the
That's
tin
right,
roof was
that's
put
right,
on.
that's right. John Mungo's father, I think, was that. Hey?
John mentioned earlier about the well, Sarah, down the field where the water was taken from
Yes.
to fill the Limp Dam. You were saying there was a tragedy happened there at that well.
Yes, that well belonged to Biddy and John here, that's their field. And my granny's brother, who'd be my granduncle, he was
Yes.
only 4 and he was drowned in that well.
And that same
Yeah,
well.
same well there.
How many three sisters was overplaying round the well? And he was in, but he didn't die until 2 days later.
That,
He lived, it was nowadays the water could be taken out of his lungs, but the water got into his lungs, and it was 2 days later before he died.
That's right.
Now another thing I'd like to make clear about that well there is feeding 1, 2, 3 houses down there, McSorley's 2 houses and Galler's house, and it's feeding approximately about 500 head of cattle.
so it must be
For
a fairly
property
strong.
McSorley, it's a very
house?
strong, a very strong well.
Must be a fairly strong spring then.
Very strong
Never
spring.
went dry. Never.
Never goes dry, and very cold. But I'm telling you, it's feeding around about 500 head of cattle down there, between cattle and sheep, and supplying them 3 houses with water.
Thanks very much, John and
Oh, no
Sarah,
problem
for your
at
time. Thank you.